Hello and welcome back to episode 49 of Take to the Skies, St Albans FC. And despite ruling out a title charge in the last episode, it looked like Gloucester were running away with the league. It's not looking quite that clear now. So since we were last with, we have had a fantastic run of form. We beat Dover 1-0. We then beat Torquay 3-1. Havant and Waterlooville 2-1. Guiseley 2-1. Port Vale 1-0. And then Stockport County 2-0. So they're not massive wins, but we've just kept racking up the wins. Meanwhile, Gloucester, as you can see, have had a horrendous run of form as of late, losing 3 of their last 8 and only winning 1. And what's that's done for the league is it's meant that we are in 3rd place, Gloucester are in 1st, but they're on 82 points. We have 3 games in hand on them, and we are on 75 points. So if we win our 3 games, that's 9 points. We'd be on 84 points. We could turn this around into a league-winning season. We've got a couple of important games today. We've got Chester, who are sat 6th in the table, and then we've got Hartlepool because the game against Boston United was postponed due to international fixtures. Was it international fixtures? It might have been something else. I think it was them. But instead, we've got these 2 games to play. Chester and Hartlepool. Hartlepool sat in 15th, so it's a decent chance for us to pick up points. And if we can, then we are really putting the pressure on Gloucester going into the end of the season. Let's go and see if we can start off on the right foot against Chester. And the lineup for today's game against Chester, we've got Emery in goal. A back four of Farjalla, Rosette, York and Louise. Torre is the holding midfielder. Bell on the right. Mafurin on the left. Brunt is in the middle. Brain in the number 10. And Rolt as the striker. I have to say, yes, we've still got a few games to go until the end of the season. My absolute player of the season is Dominique Torre. He has been unbelievable this year. Well, what a first half it's been. There's been 3 shots so far, 1 on target, and we've seen no highlights. So it's been a thrilling first half. So we're going to tell them to dig in, and we want to see more. And hopefully we'll get a highlight in the second half. And we do get a highlight nearly an hour into the game. And Chester start off on the ball. Julison back to Beresford. He plays a long ball in behind towards Johnson, who's got on the end of it, and Emery with a fantastic save. It has gone out for a corner though, so the danger isn't over. Ball comes in, York heads it away. Gibson's going to go and collect it. And he's being closed down by Bell. A loose pass allowed Brunt to get in there, but then it's gone back to Priest, who plays it forward. And there's an offside there. We are going to bring Mafurin off for Moriarty, and then he's going to play as an inside forward on this left-hand side. Due to that injury, we don't want that to be any worse and him miss the end of the season. And we'll send Smith on for Brunt in the midfield, who's not having the best of games so far. Another highlight for Chester at our end. Rodney throws it to Emerson. And then Torre makes a clearance. It's collected by Miles. And he receives it back from Julison. Tries to find Rodney. Doesn't manage to do so. Torre heads away again. McCaskill collects this one. Emerson plays it back to Miles. Back to Beresford, who goes forward. Rosette heads it away, but straight to Rodney. Chance for a cross here. Cross goes in. York does really well to head that away. And Moriarty is going to collect that. Goes round his first man. And we've got a bit of a break on here. Rolt is in the middle with him. Sends it in. And Rolt blasts it home at the near post. And St Albans lead 1-0 with a fantastic counter attack. Considering Moriarty supposedly half a star on that left-hand side, I think he's got a lot of potential out there. Look at this, the amount of players that he's drawn with him as well, and Rolt just great movement in the box. 1-0. Highlight straight off the back of the goal though. Holmes back to Beresford. We're just going to check that hasn't done the glitch that occasionally happens. No, it's a poor ball that Moriarty's nicked from the defender. He goes back to Louise, but chance for a cross here. And dispossessing doesn't work. Cross goes in, and Rushworth claims it out of the air. He then goes long, and York has missed a header. Emerson goes behind him, but it goes out to Coville, who's closed down by Torre there. McGaskill on the edge now. Back to Hosanna. Cross comes in, and Johnson heads just over the bar, but goal kick, and we'll make our final change, which we're going to send Collins on for Brain. I always get his name wrong for some reason when I haven't recorded an episode for a couple of days. Collins to see out the game. Goal kick for ourselves here with 7 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Emery's taking his time. And then, oh dear. And Emery saves himself from being released instantly after the game. However, it is still a corner. Miles sends it in. Emery hasn't claimed it. Torres headed it away. Coville gets the shot off, and Emery catches that one, saving his job. And now we've got 5 minutes of added time. Free kick. Miles sends it in towards the far post. Holmes has got to it, but Emery with 2 fantastic saves. I think the second one might have actually been Moriarty getting a block on it. Corner now coming in, and Rosate heads it away, and Holmes is going to be the man to collect it. Bit of poor closing down there. Long ball forward. Coville has his cross blocked, and it breaks for Moriarty. And it got a little bit uncomfortable towards the end there, but we've done enough. You can see here the massive uprise in their XG there when they started to just take control of the game. But we've done enough to see the game out. A 1-0 win. We created easily the best chance of the game, with Moriarty putting it on a plate for Rolt. Defence was phenomenal all day. This back four, I know 3 of them are in on loan. If we can somehow get them either on loan again or permanently going forward, we have got one heck of a back four. If we can improve Emery as well, who has his shaky moments as we've seen today, then we'll be well away. And for the second game now against Hartlepool, we bring Williams in at right back. Brunt drops to the holding midfielder, Smith into the centre, and Moriarty starts on that left-hand side. Mostly just rotation due to fitness, with Farjala actually picking up an injury. Torre was like orange heart, and Mafurin also down to a fitness test, so I'd rather save him for the rest of the running and not risk a injury today. Early highlight here, 30 seconds or so into the game. Rosette plays it back across the box to York, and he's going to go with a long ball forward, which goes through to Rolt, who passes it back to Brain, back to Bell now, and he plays it back to Brunt. Nice and patient play here, and very risky from Brunt there, nearly costing us. Williams plays it in midfield to Smith. Rolt through from Moriarty, and what a fantastic goal to put us 1-0 up against Hartlepool. That was some phenomenal bits of passing. He had the risky one from Brunt, but then he recovered it. The ball to Smith. Rolt just holds it up, plays it through to Moriarty, who's got in between the centre back and the right back. And considering he's apparently not a left winger, he's doing pretty good out there. Throwing on the right hand side now, Williams throws it to Bell, who is instantly dispossessed by Molyneux, and then Pearson goes long, but Rosette collects it, plays it forward to Moriarty. Ball through, it's kind of deflected between 2 men. Bell collects it, plays it back to Brain, who goes back to Brunt on the edge. Bell inside to Brain, is in the box, he's gone down, but Bell nicks the ball and Rolt heads it just wide of the post. And now Jones on the ball for Hartlepool. He goes long, but York heads it away. Smith collects it, tries to get it to Moriarty, but it was a poor pass. And Shelton goes back to Jones, who goes long upfield towards Timms. It's nodded on, and Emery's easily going to come out and claim that. I do apologise if you can hear the air conditioner. And Emery has 2 games in a row literally gone, here you go, to their attackers, and that is really causing me problems. I can't deal with the stress of that. Claims to corner well. I would apologise about the air conditioner, but on the flip side, it's way too hot in here, so deal with it. Corner for Hartlepool now. Burgess sends it in, and it's met by Jones, but it goes over the bar and for a goal kick. Now we've got Louise throwing it into Moriarty. Sends it back to Louise. Chance for a cross here. He turns around, plays it back to Smith, who goes to Brunt on the edge. Lots of space for him. Lots of space for Bell as well, who goes past his man, shoots and finds the bottom corner of the far post. That was a very well worked goal. We used the space that Brunt had as that holding midfielder. And then Bell, in lots of space as well, cuts past his defender. A nice turn of pace and buries it. 2-0 St Albans. And we've got a highlight straight from the back of that goal. A long ball is collected by Louise, and he goes inside to Brunt, forward to Smith, and it's back to York, but he goes forward towards Rolt. It's collected by them, but Brunt collects it again. Brain plays it out to Moriarty, but Burgess with a good interception. He goes forward, and then Williams collects it as Rosette missed the header, and then Burgess has nicked it from Louise. Back to Shelton, ball over the top towards Timms, who takes it brilliantly. And that all comes from that poor pass. I think it was from Brunt. After so many compliments towards him from the first 2 goals, really. And then he's given a very simple ball away. And Emery kind of caught in no man's land there. Didn't know whether to come for it or not. And it's buried by Timms. And we have reached half-time now. 2-1 up. We've slightly edged the XG. I think overall, we've played the better football. I think what we are going to do is, I think we're going to bring Brain off for Connings. I don't think Brain's really setting the world on fire at the moment, so we'll give Connings a chance. We're just past the hour mark now, and what we're going to do is bring Rosette off due to that yellow card. Send Pablo Martinez, I didn't mean to click on him, on as the defender alongside York. And our final change, just over 10 minutes ago, we're going to send Mafurin on for the last few minutes instead of... In fact, you know what? We're going to send Moriarty up front, and Mafurin is going to go on the left-hand side. Late free kick for Hartlepool. Clampin tries to play it in behind. Martez covers it well and plays... Emery clears it, but it's coming back at us. Ball over the top towards Timms, and he's equalised. And Hartlepool have pulled it back to 2-2. And we're going to have to demand more and go more direct now for these last 5 minutes, because we really want this win against a team we should be beating. I think Emery should do better with that clearance, and probably should do better with the goal in one respect as well. I think his position is not great there. Also, Timms was not as close to being offside as I thought it was. Never mind. And unfortunately, we have let a 2-0 lead slip. And unfortunately, we only come away with 1 point from that game. In a game that we really should have won. We had the better of the game. And it does mean that our 2 games in hand now could put us level on points with Gloucester. So we need a strong end to the season, but we need them to drop points as well, because that goal difference ain't going to swing. So what we'll do is we'll come back at the end of the season for either the last game or the last 2 games. If we're in a title fight, last 2 games. If we're just trying to decide what position we're finishing in the playoff spots, we'll come back just for the game against Bromley, and then the first round or the semi-final, depending on whether we finish in that top 3 or not. But hopefully we'll be coming back to show you the end of a title fight. And hopefully next season we'll be coming back as a League 2 team. If you have enjoyed that, please do leave a like down below. Comment your prediction for the end of the season. Are we going to steal the title win? I think we're going to fall just short, if I'm being completely honest. But let me know what you think. Subscribe if you are enjoying the series, and thank you very much for watching.